This is the X Sports Network. This is the X Sports Network.
Back to school equals back to big savings at Heritage Automotive in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Score 0% financing on select models and up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 1500 trucks. Over 150 used vehicles, all priced to move and below market value. Need service? Our expert team is ready, and we've got loaner vehicles to keep you moving while we work. Hurry into Heritage Automotive, where the deals are hot and the savings are huge.
Heritage Automotive. Expect more, experience the difference.
And welcome everybody here to Loretto High School, getting you ready for this rivalry renewed here at the new barn as the Lady Cats of Lawrence County visit the Lady Mustangs of Loretto. AJ Good joined by Maylin Fisher here for tonight's contest. Take a look at both sides, starting first with Lawrence County coming on the road, 12-5 overall, 3-3 within their district. Their head coach is Steve Keaton. For Loretto, 10-15 overall, 6-2 within their district. Their head coach is Nick Quillen. Last time that these two met up, Malin, came opening night.
Yeah.
And a 5-set thriller here between the two. And obviously, a lot has changed for both teams since that game, what it felt like a year ago, when really it was just a handful of weeks.
Yeah, this season's moving on quite quickly, AJ. And, you know, Loretto's had several adjustments they've had to make along the way and try to figure out some things as they go. And I look for this being a very competitive. You know, Lady Mustangs have took they've lost several matches this year, but they've been in most of them and still trying to find their identity in some ways. So maybe this will be a good day for them to come out on that.
You know, both teams, Malin, almost mirror each other with the youth, the mix of youth and experience, and you've got a lot of youth on both sides here. Some of it a bit unexpected for Loretto with the loss of Anna Kay Cheatham, who actually had that injury at the Ralph on opening night. So both of these teams kind of mirror each other as far as what they're coming in with here.
Yeah, I said that back I did a little bit of the JV game, and you know, and Will agree with me on it. You know, the youth is good at Lawrence County, Loretto, and Summertown. You know, how many counties could say your three high schools, you know, are playing a lot of young kids and doing well with it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the one to look out for wearing purple tonight will be Leah Dixon. I don't know if she broke a record, but she certainly came close. They were playing the top team within their district last week in Coffee County on the road on Tuesday, and she came away with 37 kills in that 5-set win for the Lady Cats to make it back-to-back wins within the district to even up their record. And when she's on, this team is really good.
Yeah, you and I talked about that at the Ralph when they played there. She's that spark, you know, when she's on, she's hard to handle, and, you know, you don't really have an answer for that sometimes. And so that's definitely a plus for Lawrence County. And, you know, Haley Bennett, has been a kid that's come on here in the last little bit for Loretto. Now, her and Mallory Corbin are two that Loretto needs to be hot. And another kid is Tidwell. Kendra Tidwell is another one needs to have a good night.
You literally took the words out of my mouth there. I was getting ready to mention Bennett, Tidwell, and Corbin. And, you know, if they're going to make the run that they need to make, if they're going to get back to Murfreesboro, they need those three to step up in a big way. You see Ella Potts handling the assist duties, handling the sets. You know, she's had her role certainly a lot for the Lady Mustangs. And you have J.C. Schultz on the other side for Lawrence County. Her role has certainly increased over the last couple of weeks here when it comes to setting up these big hitters.
Absolutely. You know, Ella hadn't set until this year, since it's been a long time, so it's been a big adjustment, I'm sure, for her. And, you know, J.C., she does a remarkable job for the Lady Cats. So I look for this being a good game here, a good match here today.
Lady Mustangs in the white tops will be on your screen going from right to left. Lady Cats in the purple tops will be on your screen going from left to right. Starting lineup for Loretto, you got Potts, Sanderson, Cheatham, Fisher, Winters, and Corbin. And for Lawrence County, you've got Garland, Walker, Brazier, Cox, Dixon, and Schultz. And see the officials talking with the ball girls down here, that's a good thing. And I like that they do that here. It's a very kind of college feel. If you go to a college game, you don't go chasing the ball all that often at the college game. They've got the rotation. make sure the balls are where they need to go so we have a good flow to the game.
AJ, you may not answer this. We watch a lot of college. Do they not sit down in college? They don't have, I see the players standing up all the time, like the subs and stuff.
I think it's more of a just to stay loose sort of thing. I've seen that a lot too, but I think that's just a preference. I've seen some teams sit down as well. Garland to serve it up here for the Lady Cats. Winters digs it out. Corbin gets it in the air. Cheatham will get it over the net. Dixon digs it out. Walker setting up Dixon, tips it over, and finds the court. Lady Cats here up early, 1-0.
And the tip was something that hurt Loretto this week in most of the shows when they played on Saturday.
Serve here from Garland. Dug out by Corbin. Passes over to Potts. Potts setting up Cheatham. And that one's in. A good answer, and we're tied up at 1. Cheatham has really come on strong here, Malin, the last couple of weeks. Really found her groove, really ever since her sister has been out of the lineup.
Yeah, she moved from I think she made middle last year. Now this is first outside for her. She's starting to get the knack of it.
Next serve, it's Winters. Brazier digs it out, passes over to Schultz. Schultz to Dixon. Another tip over and in. Back-to-back tips, back-to-back kills. Lady Cats up 2-1. Dixon was on fire. Knight and Gases will come in for Walker. Dixon was on fire in that game against Coffee County. Doing it all, tipping, hitting absolute rockets against that team that was undefeated in the district till they played the Lady Cats last Tuesday. Next serve from Schultz, dug out by Winters. Potts here to Corbin. That one right inside the line, and we're tied up at 2. And everyone we've literally talked about here, Malin, has done something big here in the early going, 2-all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a rivalry game too, kind of in a way, so it's, the emotions are a little bit more on this.
Taylor Laws back to serve now for the Lady Mustangs. That is dug out by Garland, passes over to Schultz. Schultz to Dixon, slapped over, and they get it in the air. Cheatham finds a way to get it over. Brazier, battle at the net, sent over, dug out by Knight and Gases. Garland over to Dixon. That is dug out by Winters. Potts setting up Bennett. Goes long, and say 3-2 Lady Cat lead. Thought it might have been tipped there from off the sound, but officials right on top of it, says it's just hit long.
I think she just kind of off balance with that one. Didn't get a lot on it.
Cox back to serve. Daniel in for Brazier. That goes long, and we're tied up at 3. We've seen a lot this year, Malin, that sometimes service errors become contagious.
Yeah.
As Tidwell and Newton will come in for Cheatham and Potts. Newton, one of those youngsters we talked about on both sides, who has seen their roles increase drastically a lot this year. Newton serve in the they're just contagious. It just is what it is.
I told my wife I know they draw up at home at us as announcing and calling the game. They're like, you just did it again,
I've seen it more this year than the previous 4 that I've been calling volleyball. Next serve here from Dixon, dug out by Fisher. Newton here to Bennett, slapped over and in. And we're tied up at 4. As Bennett gets on the board with her first kill. Winters checks out, and Sanderson checks in. Bennett back to serve, 4-all here in the first. Bennett serve, dug out by Brazier, passes over to Walker. Walker to Daniel, pushes that one over, dug out by Tidwell. Newton over to Sanderson, that is long, it's 5-4 Lady Cats.
Sanderson's another one of those young ones that was already playing before Anna Kate got hurt, but she's a freshman too and still trying to find her role here.
She can certainly hit it. Walker gets it over the net, dug out by Laws. Newton. Fisher will get it over, dug out by Brazier. Walker setting up Bryce. That one's in, and the Lady Cats lead by 2, 6-4. Bryce, the freshman out of Etheridge, one of the many youngsters and big hitters on this Lady Cat team. Walker back to serve, dug out by Laws. Newton here to Fisher, blocked and in, and it is 7-4 Lady Cats. I believe that was Daniel that got her mitts on that one. 7-4 Lady Cats on a 3-0 run. Next serve from Walker, dug out by Winters. Newton over to Sanderson, dug out by Dixon. Walker Here to Dixon. She'll push it over. Winters digs it out. Passes over to Newton. Newton here to Tidwell. Gets it over and in. 7-5. Lawrence County lead.
That might have been long, AJ. That's one of those balls you don't know what to do sometimes.
You don't know if it's going to die right at the line and hit, and that's a hard ball to judge when you're standing where Leah was there. Fisher back to serve. Dug out by Brazier. Passes over to Walker. Walker here to Bryce. Dug out by Fisher. Back to Lawrence County. Brazier. Walker. Here to Archer. That one's in. Lady Cats up 3 again, 8-5. One of the few seniors on the court. Archer gets the kill. Her first. Second assist for Walker. Brazier back to serve, up 8-5 here in the first. Dug out by Fisher, passes over to Newton. Newton here to Corbin, punched over, dug out by Brazier and down, 8-6. Something Mallory's gotten really good at there, Malin, is that you think she's going to wind up and hit it, and she does that push and knows exactly where to put it.
She sees the floor so well, really. And, those corners are open in most teams, AJ. One of the corners are.
Newton and Tidwell out. Potts and Cheatham back in. That's dug out by Cox. Walker and Archer tips it over. Dug out by Potts. Cheatham passes over to Sanderson. Tipped over. Dug out by Walker. Brazier over to Archer. Gets that one over. Winters digs it out over to Potts. Potts here to Sanderson. Tipped over and in. It's a 1-point Lady Cat lead. Well done by Bella Grace. Potts' third assist, her first kill. Potts to serve once again up, down one, excuse me. That serve, speaking of Malin, that's probably going to go long, and they tie it up with Potts' first ace, and the first ace from either side.
Yeah, that's another one of those balls that, I think you're indecisive, then that last second.
Yeah. Of course, everyone says long the moment it hits your hands. Dug out by Dixon.
Yes.
Walker here to Cox, slaps it over and down. Lady Cats retake the lead, 9-8. First kill for Cox as Garland will come in for Bryce, and she'll go back and serve. 9-8, Lawrence County's lead here in the first set. Garland gets it over, dug out by Corbin. Winters setting up Cheatham. Dug out by Garland. Walker over to Dixon. Slams it down, 10-8 Lady Cats.
And I would think this is Lady Cats, one of their strongest spots, have her being on the front here, AJ.
Third kill for Dixon, fourth assist for Walker. She's done a great job here so far. Garland, her serve, dug out by Winters. Potts, Sanderson tipped over, dug out by Dixon. Walker back over to Dixon, blocked. Dixon sends it back, dug out by Fisher. Potts sending up Corbin, hits it long. And it's a 11-8 Lady Cats.
Just a bit off the backside there.
She almost like she got more fingertips than what she got in her
I think she was trying to flip it down and just didn't.
Garland's next serve, dug out by Fisher, sent back to Lady Cats. Dixon, Walker, back to Dixon, battle with the net, won by Dixon, and it's now 12-8. And a timeout will be called by Nick Quillen here with his team down 4. We'll take the break with them here on the X Sports Network.
Did you know that Resource MFG, an employee bridge company in Lawrenceburg, is the first and largest national manufacturing staffing company? They work alongside the top plants and facilities in the area to provide you with job opportunities in production, quality, maintenance.
McQuillan has used his first timeout as Loretto trails Lawrence County 12-8 here in the first set. Garland back to serve once again here for Lawrence County. Senior over the net, dug out by Corbin. Potts to the rescue, and Cheatham gets a block by Archer. Falls down and in. Lady Cats now up 5. Second block for a point for the Lady Cats. Garland back to serve again. He's dug out by a diving Winters. Potts here to Corbin. Tipped, saved by Dixon. Walker back to Dixon. She'll get it over and in. Another kill for her. It's a 6-point lead, 14-8. She's finding a way to get it over, and it's working. That's her 5th kill, 6 assists for Walker. Serve from Garland. It's dug out by Winters. Potts here to Cheatham. Tipped, dug out by Garland. Walker. The Cox slapped over and a bit long. It's now 14-9.
Yeah, I mean, you get 2 blockers up on the net and a tipper there, it leaves the whole back part of that little box wide open.
Schultz in for Archer. Sanderson out, Bennett in for Loretto. Winters back to serve. Dug out by Garland. Schultz here to Dixon. Blocked and down. Corbin and Cheatham combined for the block. It's now 14-10. Their first block for a point.
That was a hard hit too, AJ.
You could probably hear that at Rick's Barbecue just down the road. That's how loud that was. And yeah, Avery got most of that one. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz here to Dixon in the net. And Loretto out of the timeout, getting some breaks here. 14-11. Winters ready to go. Our serves have been hard to handle here in the early going. And goes long, now 15-11. Haven't had many errors in this match so far, Malin. Both teams kind of doing a good job of keeping it inside the lines.
Well, you'd hope by this time of year you start correcting some of those, AJ, really.
Serve here from Schultz, dug out by Corbin. Potts here to Bennett, slapped over, dug out by Dixon. Brazier and Schultz does find a way to get it over. Potts, Cheatham, over to Bennett, hits it over, dug out by Schultz. Brazier now to Dixon, dug out by Winters. Potts setting up Bennett, tipped and in. 15-12. Bennett, that is her 2nd kill, 4th assist for Potts. Laws will come in for Corbin and go back to serve. Lady Cats up 3 here in the first. Laws' 2nd serve. Dug out by Garland. Schultz. And Nightingale over the net. Dug out by Laws. Potts here to Bennett. Dug out by Dixon. Schultz setting up Dixon. And Cheatham got it over. Dug out by Garland. On a double hit called there on Cheatham. Now 16-12.
Yeah, that's a new call, I think, this year. We've seen a lot more of on that second time if you send it over.
Yeah, you can set them up with a double hit, but you can't send it over on a double hit. Potts here to Cheatham. Tipped over. And in, gets her revenge, and it's a 3-point Lady Cat lead.
I call that Cheatham way. She does that. That's like her area of the floor, AJ.
Yeah. When I cut the highlights, I know I get at least 2 of those Avery Cheatham tip overs every match.
That's Cheatham way.
Potts and Cheatham out. Tidwell and Newton in. 3-point Lady Cat lead here late in the first. That's dug out by Brazier. And Bennett tried to take advantage of the hard dig, but sent it wide. Now a 4-point Lady Cat lead. Bryce checks in for Garland. Dixon back to serve. Over the net, a rocket, but long. Now 17-14.
You know, it's kind of been Lady Mustangs all year, you know, just those little things, AJ, that's kind of separated some of these matches for them.
Bennett back to serve. Walker just came in for Nightingale. Dug out by Dixon. Walker here to Daniel. That one is in, and now it's 18-14. Daniel's really been able to come alive here in the last couple weeks. That is her first kill for Walker, her 7th assist, as Schultz will check out. Walker back to serve. Dug out by Fisher. Newton here to Tidwell, slapped over. Dug out by Brazier. Walker here to Dixon. Dug out by Winters. Laws. Sanderson will get over. Dug out by Brazier. Walker here to Bryce. Tipped. Dug out by Winters. Newton over to Sanderson. Tipped. Dug out by Dixon. Walker in the air. Dixon will get it over the net. Winters Laws. Here to Sanderson again. Dug out by Brazier. Walker. Dixon. Dug out by Winters. Newton. Over to Tidwell. Gets it over. Dug out by Brazier. Walker. Daniel pushed over. Dug out by Newton. Saved by Laws. Newton will get it over the net. Brazier. Walker. Bryce. Dug out by Winters. Newton. Over to Sanderson. Tipped over and in. Oh, they say it hit the antenna. It hit the antenna. 1914 Lady Cats.
Wow.
A marathon point there. Dug out, served by Walker, dug out by Winters. Fisher here to, miscommunication. And the Lady Cats on the backstretch, 2014. And a timeout called by Nick Quillen. His team trailing by 6. We'll take that break with them here on the X Sports Network.
Gifts and goodies galore await you at Miss Millie's in downtown Lawrenceburg. From brands you know and love, like E. Newton Jewelry and Tyler Diva Wash, to unique specialty gifts, you will find it all here. Whether you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you love or shopping for yourself, shopping local is the way to go. We have home goods, women's fashion and accessories, baby items, and lots of seasonal decorations. Our friendly staff will welcome you in, help you find what you need, and even package your gifts for you. Also, we can't forget to tell you about our popular bridal registry. Future brides can come and create their perfect registry with us. So stop.
McQuillan has just used his final timeout as Loretto trails Lawrence County 20-14 here in the first set. Walker back to serve here for the Lady Cats. That is over the net, dug out by Fisher. Newton. And Tidwell got it over.
Somehow.
Daniel will get it over, dug out by Newton. Winters, Sanderson blocked. Newton gets it in the air. Tidwell pushes it over, dug out by Bryce. Walker, back to Bryce, blocked. Bryce digs it out. Brazier, and Archer gets it over. Winters digs it out. Laws, here to Sanderson. To tie over, dug out by Brazier. Walker, Dixon. Dug out by Newton. Laws hits it down and in. Lady Cats now up 21-14. Walker back to serve again. Dug out by Winters. Passes to Newton. Newton here to Fisher. And pinballs around and in. 21-15.
That had to be a lift too there, really, AJ.
Corbin will come in for Laws. Fisher back to serve after her first kill in the match. 4th assist for Newton. 6-point lead. Fisher serve, dug out by Dixon. Walker, here to Archer. Tipped, dug out by Sanderson. Corbin punches it over, dug out by Brazier. Walker, here to Bryce. Dug out by Sanderson. Newton, here to Tidwell. And that's in, 21-16.
I don't know how that didn't hit something, AJ.
I know.
It went through everything.
I was waiting for it to, come around and maybe come back on the court. And that just kept going. There's so many things to hit here.
I'm telling you.
As that serve will go wide, now 22-16. Daniel out, Cox in, Brazier back to serve. Brazier serve, dug out by Tidwell. Battle at the net. Over and down for Cox, 23-16. Their second kill. Brazier back to serve again. In the net, 23-17. Update, Colioca up 17-10 over South Lawrence right now. Leo Coughlin defeated Leoma earlier today, 2-0. Potts back to serve. in the net. And now it's set point for the Lady Cats.
It's back-to-back on Lady Mustang serving the service areas there.
So I didn't even say anything.
Yeah, it's true, I did, so you can blame it on me.
Garland back to serve. Set point. Dug out by Winters. Potts. Here to Cheatham. Tipped. Dug out by Brazier. Walker can't get it over. 24-18.
Kind of backed her into a bad spot there.
They really have one play to make and a bad angle to make it at. Schultz will come in for Archer. Winters back to serve. Bennett in for Sanderson. Dug out by Brazier. Garland passes over to Dixon. Tipped and in. And the Lady Cats are going to take the first set 25-18 to lead it 1-0. We'll take a couple-minute break and have these start. The second set, when we return here on the X Sports Network.
When it's time to build a home, remodel, or add on, Hamby Builders is this area's experienced construction company. From site selections to floors, doors, windows, trim, tile, bathrooms, and kitchen, the Hamby Builders team can make your home the home of your dreams. Hamby Builders is licensed and insured with over 20 years of experience in homes in Giles, Lawrence, Wayne, and Murray counties. Trust your home construction or light commercial project to the team with experience and integrity. Hamby Builders. Call 931-629-5264 or 931-629-9472 today.
At Murray Regional Health, you'll find the expertise and technology available in larger cities, paired with the personalized and compassionate care you deserve. As the largest health system between Nashville and Huntsville, we have a medical staff of more than 200 physicians across an array of specialties, ranging from primary care to robotic surgery. They lead skilled teams of nurses and other clinical experts that diagnose and treat conditions with advanced technology. Murray Regional Health, where clinical excellence meets compassionate care.
For over 50 years, Southern Tennessee Regional Health System Lawrenceburg has been a cornerstone of care in Lawrence County. From cardiology to orthopedics, general surgery, primary care, and women's health, we offer compassionate expert care close to home. Our ER is now stronger than ever with more providers, chest pain accreditation, and our newest Joint Commission stroke accreditation because every second matters. Generations have trusted us for compassionate care and medical excellence. Faster, trusted, accredited. Emergency care with hometown heart.
Nobody makes hauling more affordable than C&D Hauling. Serving southern Middle Tennessee and northern Alabama, they supply premium materials like asphalt, sand, gravel, and much more for whoever needs it, like contractors, builders, or homeowners. Call today for a free quote.
For over 50
Back here at the new barn where the Lady Cats took the first set from Loretto, 25-18. Lady Cats 13 kills to 11 for Loretto in the first set. Aces 1-0 for Loretto. Errors-wise, Loretto 9 and 6 for the Lady Cats. So Malin, numbers sort of in a way kind of tell the story there. Loretto made just a couple more errors, and the Lady Cats kind of took advantage on some of the mistakes that Loretto did on the opposite end.
Yeah, no doubt. Lawrence County Lady Cats are gelling, position-wise, seems like a little better in passing, getting things done. Loretto had some runs there, just like a little miscommunication at some times, and in volleyball that could create a run for those teams. That's what it did for Lady Cat.
And we've had some marathon points in this match too. I would love to see the timer on that one. That felt like 5 minutes. It was probably at least a minute, but it felt like 5.
That might be the longest one I've seen this year on the high school side.
Yeah,
probably.
Especially on the high school side. College, sometimes you'll get some that are like, how are they going to play another set after that? Dixon digs out the pot serve. Walker here to Cox. That one's in. Lady Cats off to a 1-0 start. Cox with her third kill, and Walker doing a great job already, her 9th assist. Garland back to serve. And Winters digs it out. Potts here to Corbin. Just a bit long, man. I thought that found a way to hit
that was
the
pretty
back
close,
line.
AJ.
Yeah, that was awfully close there. But she hit it so hard, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to tell if it did go in or not.
Yeah, that's
Ooh, it's off Will's replay. That was even closer than what we saw in person. Sanderson finds a way to get it over, and Archer tried to take advantage of it, but hit it long. And it's 2-1.
from where we're at. It looked like it was right on that line. It just really did.
Schultz comes in for Archer. Sanderson out, Bennett in, and back to serve is Breeley Winters. 2-1 the Lady Cav lead here in the second set. That's down and in for the ace, and we're tied up at 2. First ace for Winters and the second for the Lady Mustangs.
That's a rare mistake by Walker for sure.
Serve up here from Winters. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz setting up Dixon. Dug out by Bennett. Winters back over to Bennett. Got it over. Dug out by Brazier. Walker here to Dixon. Tipped over. Dug out by Potts. Bennett now to Cheatham. Tipped. Saved by Schultz. Walker over to Dixon. Corbin sends it over but wide. Another kill for Dixon. 3-2 Lady Cats. For Leah, that is kill number 9 already. 10th assist for Walker. She'll check out. Nine Gases comes in. Schultz back to serve, up 1. Corbin digs it out. Potts. And Winters over the net. Brazier over to Schultz. Here to Dixon. Hits it long, and it's 3-3. One thing I noticed there, Malin, didn't see Mallory the last couple years on the back line, and here she is, and she's doing a really good job digging out those serves.
So kind of the serve receive they do, it's over my pay grade for sure. I can't.
Well, you know, I think Nick Quillen knows what he's doing.
Oh, no doubt.
Laws' serve, a rocket dug out by Dixon. Schultz here to Cox. It's dug out by Winters. Potts here to Cheatham. Dug out by Garland. Schultz here to Dixon. Tipped over. Dug out by Bennett. Potts back to Bennett. Slapped over and in. Good run by Loretto as they take the lead 4-3.
It's kind of like we started the first set. You know, it was back and forth. And
Third kill for Bennett. 6th assist for Potts. Laws back to serve again. Dug out by Garland. Schultz. And Nine Gases tips it over. Potts Winters now to Bennett. Goes long, and we're tied up at 4. Sometimes, Malin, those can be momentum killers when you hit it that good and it goes long, as Annie Lloyd will come in for Cox. She'll go back and serve her first action of the match.
it's just a timing thing, AJ, getting on top of it, missing it by just a split second.
Serve from Lloyd, dug out by Winters. Passes over to Potts. Bennett blocked by Daniel. Potts in the air, and Bennett will get it over the net. Dug out by Garland. Can't be saved by Lloyd, and Bennett gets back on the board. It's 5-4, her 4th kill.
That was really a pretty good swing, really.
For a get-over
Yes.
ball, that was excellent. Cheatham and Potts out, Newton and Tidwell in. 5-4, the Lady Mustang lead here in the second.
You never know how those are going to turn out.
Newton serve, dug out by Garland. Schultz, and Nine Gases pushes it over and in. Then we're tied up at 5. Like you said, Malin, the corners, one corner's always
Absolutely.
open in volleyball. Bryce will come in for Garland. 5-all as Dixon goes back to serve. Dug out by Fisher. Newton here to Tidwell. Tipped over, dug out by Schultz. Brazier. Bryce won't get it over, and it's 6-5, Lady Mustangs.
She kind of put her in no man's land over there.
Yeah, best case scenario is that hits the net and rolls over,
Yep.
but that's your best case scenario. Eigengasis out, Walker in, Bennett back to serve. Dug out by Brazier. Walker here to Bryce. And falls down, we're tied up at 6. Walker with her 11th assist. Bryce, the freshman, her 2nd kill. Archer in for Schultz, and Walker back to serve. 6-all here in the second. Winters digs it out. Newton, and oh, I thought she might have got that one over.
I could tell it went to the other side there. But.
Yeah, your eyesight's better than mine.
Well, I'm going to go with that story anyhow, AJ.
Serve here from Walker, off the top of the net, saved. Newton, here to Sanderson, hits a long, and the Lady Cats, 3-0 run, it's 8-6.
Seems like the Lady Mustangs just a tick off on some of those swings.
Walker's serve, dug out by Fisher. Newton, and Winters hits it in the net. A 4-0 run, it's 9-6. Like you said, Malin, something is just a little bit off here and there. Walker sends it over, dug out by Winters. Fisher, Sanderson over, dug out by Dixon. Walker, here to Bryce, off the top of the net and in. 5-0 run, they lead at 10-6. Timeout will be called by Nick Quillen. His team trailing by 4 here in the second. We'll take that break with them here on the X Sports Network.
Back to school equals back to big.
McClellan has called his first timeout. His team trails 10-6 here in the second set. Walker back to serve. It's a 1-0 Lady Cat advantage. Winters, Newton, Sanderson blocked, dug out by Winters. Newton, nobody was there. Her pass was offline. Either way, it's 11-6 Lady Cats. .60 run. Next serve from Walker. Dug out by Fisher. Newton. Sanderson gets it over. It's dug out by Dixon. Walker. Daniel tipped over. Diving save by Winters, but wide. And it's a 6-0 run to make it 12-6. Daniel's second kill, 13th assist for Walker. Next serve. Dug out by Fisher. That's in for the ace. It's now 13-6. Second ace for the Lady Cats, and both of them coming from Walker. Next serve. Dug out by Laws. Newton back between the lines, and Laws will get over the net. Daniel. Walker. Archer does get it over and finds a way down. It's now 14-6 Orange County. Everything just falling for the girls in purple here tonight. Next serve. Dug out by Fisher. Winters. And over the net is Laws. Dug out by Dixon. Walker. Daniel gets it over. Dug out by Tidwell. Newton. Here to Sanderson. That's in the net. And now it's 15-6.
Yeah, just sometimes you just can't get out of your own way sometimes, AJ.
It's now a 10-0 Lawrence County run. Next serve from Walker. Dug out by Fisher. Newton. Tidwell gets it over. Bryce in the air, battle with the net. That's going to be won by Fisher. That breaks the run, 15-7. Corbin will come in for Laws. Fisher back to serve. Picked up her second kill. Over the net, dug out by Brazier. Walker, here to Dixon. That's long, and back-to-back points, 15-8.
She put that about Highway 43 out there in a hurry.
Oh, man.
I'll take that swing, though.
Yeah, that's, when she gets it, she gets it. Fisher serve, dug out by Brazier. Walker, here to Daniel. That's dug out by Fisher. Newton, Corbin, got it over, dug out by Dixon.
Somebody in the net.
Lawrence County was in the net there. How about a 3-0 run now for Loretto to make it 15-9? It's just the first block error from the other side. The first net call that we've had. Big serve from Fisher. Dug out, sent back over. Dixon, Walker, Bryce. Dug out by Fisher, back over. Daniel, down and in. That makes it 16-9 as Daniel will pick up her third kill. Cox will come in for Lloyd. Comes in for Daniel. Brazier back to serve. 7-point Lady Cat lead here in the second. Dug out by Winters. Newton, here to Corbin. That one's in. 16-10. Corbin will pick up his third kill, 6th assist for Newton as Cheatham and Potts come in.
And Loretto needs more of that, AJ. They don't seem like our swinging percentage is not what you would want probably at this time of the year. So they keep working. They got to correct some things here and there.
Potts back to serve. Goes wide, 17-10 off the service error. Garland comes in for Bryce. She'll go back and serve, second time here in the second set. It's over the net, dug out by Winters. Potts, Corbin, slapped over. Walker, somehow Cox got it over. Winters, Potts, Cheatham, tipped over, blocked, but wide. Cheatham with the kill, 17-11.
She was after that little spot again, AJ.
And even with the block, they couldn't keep her between the lines. That's her third kill. What'd you call it?
That's Cheatham way.
Cheatham way. Next serve here from Winters. Dug out by Garland. Passes over to Schultz. Schultz to Dixon. Dug out by Potts. Winters. Here to Bennett. That one's in. 17-12. Bennett with her 5th kill, 9th assist for Potts. Winters to serve again. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz. Dixon. Dug out by Winters. Potts over to Bennett. That one's in. And the Lady Mustangs putting together a run here. Bennett and Potts connect again for the 6th time. (17-13) here in the second. Winters serve. That one's in for the ace. That is her second and the team's third.
Braley's got one of those serves that just kind of get on you in a hurry.
And a timeout called by Steve Keaton in Lawrence County, up 3. We'll take the break with them here on the X Sports Network.
Good Works at Home, formerly known as the Summit at Home, is a licensed non-skilled agency dedicated to helping you maintain your independence at home for as long as possible. Our compassionate and caring staff provide support in various areas, including dressing, bathing, personal hygiene, transportation, cleaning, and companionship. Please call our office about services, payment options, and long-term care policies at 931-762-2310. We look forward to assisting you with keeping your independence longer.
Are you tired of missing out on family life just to be treated like another truck number? Since 1986 Southeast.
And Lawrence County forced to use their first time out of the second set. Loretto on a run as they lead this one 17-14. You see South Lawrence now up 16-8. They're dropping the first set to Colioca. They're in their second set. Brazier over to Schultz, now to Dixon, and a good comeback by the Lady Cats. Dixon slams it down. That is her 10th kill, and Schultz come up with assist number 5. Schultz back to serve. Dug out by Fisher. Potts. Here to Bennett. Tipped over. Dug out by Dixon. Schultz. Cox sends it over. Dug out by Potts. Winters. Here to Bennett. Right on the line. It's now 18-15. Bennett really coming alive here in the second set. Her 7th kill. Ball is now in for Corbin. 3-point lead late here in the second. Serve from Laws in the net, 19-15.
Seems like every time Loretto gets a little run going, some little bitty things kind of takes a little air out of that.
Daniel in, so is Annie Lloyd. Cox and Brazier check out. Lloyd back to serve. Seeing her work rate increase over the last couple of weeks. It's dug out by Laws. Potts over to Cheatham, goes long. Lady Cats here on the backstretch, 20-15. Next serve here from Lloyd. Dug out by Cheatham. Laws passes over to Fisher in the net, 21-15.
Fisher's, you got to get the ball over. You can't.
Next serve from Lloyd. Dug out by Winters. And Bennett over the net, dug out by Garland. Schultz to Dixon. That one's in. Lady Cats now up 7, 22-15. Dixon with kill number 11, 6 assists from Schultz. Next serve from Lloyd. Dug out by Laws. Bennett, that one's blocked down and in. That's Daniel again, 23-15. It's a second block for Daniel for a point, and Nick Quillen's going to call his final timeout. Trailing by 8, we'll take the break with him here on the X Sports Network.
You know, Storing Lee Furniture is not just some huge chain store, but we do have a 144,000 square foot showroom right here in Leoma, Tennessee.
The Story family has worked together in the business now for 55 years.
And a familiar face is here to help you with whatever you need. That's what being a part of the community right here in the Tennessee Valley means. And if you have an issue, we're right here to take care of it. And don't forget free delivery. We invite you to come see us. We're Storing Lee Furniture.
Want to take the next steps in taking care of your health? Tennessee Valley Allergy Services can make your goals a reality. Their team of doctors, nurses, and medical professionals are dedicated to providing allergy care and treatment, such as drops and shots, to fit your exact needs.
McQuillan has called his final timeout. Loretto trails Orange County 23-15 late in the second set. Lady Cats with a 1-0 advantage. They're taking the first 25-18. Lloyd back to serve. Sends this one over the net. Dug out by Laws. Passes over to Potts. Potts here to Fisher. Tipped over. Dug out by Dixon. Schultz to Dixon. That one's in, and the Lady Cats. Set point coming up. Dixon, 12th kill, 7th assist for Schultz. Next serve coming up for Lloyd. Dug out by Laws. Potts here to Bennett. Slapped over, dug out by Schultz. Lloyd, Dixon will push it over. Dug out by Bennett. Potts. Fisher over and in. 24-16. Almost a over the net there.
It was all on
Daniel. Destiny was standing flat-footed and still reached half of her elbow over the net there. Potts and Cheatham out. Tidwell and Newton in. Still set point for Lawrence County, 24-16. Serve from Newton, dug out by Brazier. Schultz, here to Dixon. And tried to feather that one right on the corner. It's a long, 24-17. Next serve. Just a hair long, and the Lady Cats will take the second set here, 25-17. Lead this one 2-0. Tried to close it out in the third, but the Lady Mustangs will try to keep this match alive. That will be when we return here on the X Sports Network.
Since opening our doors in 1904, Builtwell Bank has existed to be the local economic engine for the communities we serve. No matter if you're buying a car, saving for retirement, or finally buying that forever home, Builtwell Bank is here to help. From personal checking and savings accounts to a full suite of business and commercial banking with treasury management services, we'll make sure you'll have a dedicated Builtwell banker that understands your unique needs and stands by you every step of the way. No matter where you are in Tennessee or Northwest Georgia, there's likely a Builtwell Bank location nearby. Come see us and let our dedicated financial team help you with all of your banking needs. Member FDIC.
From our humble beginnings to today, Parks Lumber Company has continuously served Lawrence and surrounding counties for over a century. Although we started as a small lumber yard in 1896, we have grown to include everything you need to make your dream project come to life. No matter your building needs, our experienced staff will be with you every step of the way to ensure you receive the highest customer service and attention to detail you deserve. Visit us at 106 2nd Street or on Facebook. We guarantee you will see working with PLC is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Are you looking for a non-factory job environment? Livingstone Freight Solutions is a 3PL company that began managing warehouses in Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. With our multiple shifts and experienced management team, our goal is to give you, as an employee, a safe family work environment and competitive wages. We offer a wide variety of employment opportunities from forklift drivers to management level positions. We also strive to offer a competitive benefit package and PTO options. For more information or to apply, visit us at livingstonefs.com or give us a call at 931-269-3255.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-852-4708 or stop by at 2567 Highway 43 South in Leoma.
There are now more ways to save at QuickMart. Become a Quick Club member and easily earn rewards on qualifying purchases at QuickMart convenience stores using the Quick Club app, available on the Apple App Store and Google Play. To save on fuel for work, use the Fuel Rewards Pro app to earn 5 cents a gallon on work fill-ups and redeem the savings for yourself. To get started, visit fuelrewards.com/pro or download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Back here at Loretto, getting ready to start the third set. The Lady Cats taking the second from Loretto 25-17. They lead it 2-0. Kills-wise, Lady Cats 24-20. Errors-wise, Loretto 20-12. Aces-wise, favor of Loretto as well, 3-2. And the errors there kind of prove what has happened in this game here, Malin, with Loretto 8 more than Lawrence County. Loretto especially 11 in the second set. Lawrence County has had 6 in each set here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, every time Loretto puts a run together, then they start making those errors, and, you know, they're just a little tick off, AJ. I've been here with them most of the year, and, you know, at times they make those runs. They look like they're getting things together, then, you know, start making those little bitty errors. Sometimes they're not big, but they accumulate and makes big ones out of it.
Little nicks, little cuts turn into gashes by the end of it. Garland back to serve here for the Lady Cats to start the third. Goes long, and Loretto with a 1-0 lead. Service errors have been an issue for this Lawrence County team this year.
But they ain't had many today, AJ.
No,
They've been pretty solid here.
That was just their 4th.
Yeah.
Pretty good for them. And a miscommunication, that drops in. 2-0, the Lady Mustang lead. And Winters going to pick up the ace. That is her third and the team's 4th. Serve from Winters. Dug out by Walker. Brazier. Here to Dixon. Dug out by Fisher. Potts. Corbin got it over. Saved by Schultz. Dixon back between the lines. How in the world did that not end anything as Potts goes long? 3-0.
They just barely missed the dividing net. And I don't know.
I mean, that.
How did it not hit a rafter, AJ?
I have no clue. Not even a spider web. Garland digs that out. And more miscommunication from the Lady Cats. It's now 4-0 Loretto.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in the first 2 sets at all.
I've said several times about this Lawrence County team, you really never know what you're going to get with them. Set the set, let alone point to point. Garland digs that one out. Schultz here to Dixon. Blocked. Garland digs it out. And they're going to call the Lady Cats in the net. And Loretto starts off the third set on a 5-0 run. Picture perfect start here for Loretto. Winner's serve, dug out by Brazier. Garland back between the lines, and Cox will get this one over the net. Cheetah, Potts, Corbin. That one's in, a 6-0 run to start off. And a timeout will be called by Steve Keaton here, down 6 in the third. We'll take the break with him here on the X Sports Network.
There's no job too big or too small for Gonzalez Lawn and Landscapes. Owner Chris Gonzalez works hard to make your commercial or residential properties one of the neighbors will envy. You won't find a lower price anywhere else, and that's a guarantee. We offer mowing, landscape removal, small construction jobs, and more. Our team is licensed and insured to ensure the best work for Lawrence County and surrounding areas. Your satisfaction is our goal. We won't leave until you're happy. Call today to set up a free quote.
Arts, crafts.
Steve Keaton has called his first timeout. His team trails 6-0 here in the third set. They do have a 2-0 advantage. Winners back to serve is at all the services so far for Loretto and puts it in the net, and the first point for the Lady Cats. We're talking about service errors earlier, Malin. Loretto, well, that's their 8th as compared to just 4 from Lawrence County. Schultz's serve dug out by Corbin. Potts here to Cheetah. It's a long and back-to-back points at 6-2 off back-to-back errors. Schultz's serve again. Dug out by Winners. Potts here to Bennett. Slams it home. It's now 7-2.
That's a good swing.
Nice and smooth. That is her 8th kill. 14th assist for Potts. Laws in for Corbin. Laws back to serve.
Give Schultz credit. She was there, AJ.
Yeah. Just couldn't contain that rocket. Dixon digs out the serve. Garland here to Nightingale. Gets it over. Dug out by Potts. Winners here to Bennett. Tipped. Dug out by Garland. Schultz. Dixon. That one's in. 7-3. For Dixon, that's kill number 13, 8th assist for Schultz. Cox and Brazier out, Lloyd and Daniel in. Lloyd who had the hot hand in the second set for Lawrence County. Gets it over, dug out by Winners. Potts. Bennett over, dug out by Schultz. Garland, here to Dixon. That one's in, splits the Lady Mustang defense, and it's a 3-point lead.
That's coming hot, but you still like to see somebody get a hand up on that.
She hit it kind of like we said in no man's land, because you hit it right in that spot. You never know who wants to go after it. You certainly don't want to collide with the next person. Serve here from Lloyd. Diving save by Winners. Potts in the air, and Bennett will get it over the net. Diving save by Garland. Schultz hits it wide, and it's 8-4.
That's 2 kills that Bennett's had, just getting it over there.
And she hits it with such velocity at times, and sometimes those get-over balls are pretty easy to handle, but she doesn't hit anything that's easy to handle. Potts and Cheatham out. Tidwell Newton in. Newton back to serve. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz back between the lines. Dixon tipped over, dug out by Winners. Newton. And Bennett over, dug out by Dixon. Saved by Schultz. Dixon gets it over, but wide. 9-4.
I learned my terminology, AJ. They call those pancakes.
Pancakes?
I like pancakes and bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other here.
Yeah. Is that when you put your hand on?
Yes, that's what they call them. We had a double one on Saturday.
Okay. Well, that's how I like my pancakes, doubled. It's Schultz over to Dixon. That one's in, 9-5. Just like my waffles at Waffle House.
That's right.
Double waffle. 15 kill for Dixon. As Garland checks out, Bryce checks in. Dixon back to serve. Double waffle, double hash. Now I'm hungry. All this breakfast food talk.
Yeah, and hadn't eaten supper yet, so it's
it probably sounds really good to you.
Yeah.
Dixon, Schultz, here to Bryce, who gets it over. And wide. 10-5 Loretto. It's really starting to pile up here for the Lady Cats in the third set. Walker will come in for Nightingales. Sanderson in for Winners, and Bennett back to serve.
Well, she threw it, and just here she comes.
And right there for the ace, 11-5.
She rolled the car off the course, and just here she comes. Maybe that was part of the plan.
Yeah. It's been all Lady Mustangs here in the third. Pops it up, dug out by Brazier. Walker, Daniel tipped, saved by Laws, dug out by Bryce. Schultz back to Bryce. Long, 12-5. That serve earlier from Bennett. Right on the line. Next serve from Bennett.
I touched it.
Yeah. That's another ace. Her second and the team seventh. And Steve Keaton will call his final timeout. Team trailing by 8. They'll take the break with them on the X Sports Network.
A&M Medical is Lawrence County's newest medical clinic, specializing in urgent and primary care. Practitioners Andrea Bain and Meredith Hutton bring years of experience and compassion to keep you and your family healthy. A&M Medical features a separate well waiting room to meet your needs. Visit today and ask about A&M's weight loss program and telemedicine services. That's A&M Medical, located at 2367 Highway 43 South in Leoma, Tennessee.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable.
Steve Keaton has called his final timeout. His team trails 13-5 here in the third. Loretto trying to keep this match alive. The Cats up 2-0. Next serve from Bennett. Dug out by Brazier. Passes over to Walker. Walker to Bryce. Got it over. Dug out by Laws. Newton. Here to Bennett. Dug out by Schultz. That did hit a rafter that time.
I watched that one.
Daniel slaps it over. Dug out by Laws. Newton. Over to Tidwell. Block. Nope, that one's in. 14-5. Tidwell's third kill. 7th assist for Newton. 14-5 the lead. Next serve. Dug out by Dixon. Walker. Bryce. That's in the net. 10-point lead.
Kind of left her out to hang on that one. Bryce couldn't do a whole lot with that.
Next serve from Bennett. Dug out by Dixon. Brazier. And Dixon will get it over. Fisher sends it back, and Daniel takes advantage. Slams it down. That is her fourth kill. Archer comes in for Schultz. Walker back to serve. Walker serve. Just a bit long. 16-6.
I don't know. I can't say as a player standing in my way. I couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either. It was awfully close. Sub coming in. Corbin for loss, and Fisher back to serve. Next serve from Fisher. Dug out by Brazier. Walker. Here to Daniel. Never made it over. 17-6. Loretto faithful getting really loud here in the third set.
The men just finally showed up, AJ. They've been kind of quiet.
Yeah. Next serve here from Fisher. Dug out by Dixon. Walker. Here to Daniel. Dug out by Fisher. Newton here to Tidwell. Tipped over. Dug out by Archer. Walker, and Dixon does get it over the net. Corbin. Newton here to Corbin. Block. Down and in by Daniel. Another one from her. 17-7. That is her third and the team's fourth. Daniel out. Cox in. Brazier back to serve. Next serve from Brazier. That's in for the ace. Back-to-back points. Her first ace and the team's third. Brazier ready to deal again. Dug out by Tidwell. Newton, here to Sanderson. Dug out by Dixon. Walker, here to Bryce. That one's in. 3 in a row for the Lady Cats, 17-9. Freshman's 4th kill, 15th assist for Walker. Frazier ready to serve. Dug out by Tidwell. Passes over to Newton. Newton here to Tidwell. In the net. 4-0 Lady Cat run, 17-10. Serve from Brazier. In the net. And a break there for Loretto. Breaks the Lady Cat run.
Got the Lady Cats crowd back into there just for a moment there.
Potts and Cheatham in. Tidwell and Newton out. 18-10, the Lady Mustang lead here in the third. Serve from Potts, off of Cox, and in for the ace. 19-10. Potts' his second ace and the team's 8th. Serve from Potts. Dug out by Cox. Walker. And Dixon will get it over the net. Dug out by Winters. Potts. Corbin. That one's in. Lady Mustangs on the back stretch, 20-10. Corbin's 5th kill, 16th assist for Potts.
Just not a lot you can do with that.
Yeah, just especially when she put it where she put it. You get it down the middle, you can do whatever you want with it. Cox digs out the serve. Walker. Cox slapped over, dug out by Sanderson. Corbin over to Sanderson, hits a long. 20-11. Garland comes in for Bryce. She'll go back and serve. Serve from Garland. Dug out by Winters. Potts here to Corbin. Cox gets it out, and Dixon sends a long. 21-11.
This is a well-needed set for the Lady Mustangs, whether they come away victorious in this match today or not. This was a huge set for them.
It's confidence builder. Well, it's still not over yet.
No, whatever how it turns out.
Garland. Schultz will get it over but long. 22-11.
Yeah, I don't ever count it over till it's at the end.
South Florence and Colioca go into a third and decisive set there. Brazier, Schultz, here to Dixon. Blocked down and in by Corbin, 23-11. It's her first and the team second. Cheatham with the other one, or Fisher with the other. Serve from Winters. Dug out by Garland. Schultz. Dixon. What a save by Bennett. Corbin in the air. Bennett will tip it over. Brazier. Walker. Here to Dixon. Got it. Oh, wow. Over and in.
Yeah, I don't know what all we had there, AJ, but.
When Cheatham hit it over, I could have swore that was going to go on the line.
Yeah.
Madden Gase is in for Walker. Schultz back to serve. Dug out by Winters. Potts. Here to Bennett. And that one's in. 24-12. Bennett's 10th kill, 18th assist for Potts. Corbin outlaws in. Set point for Loretto. How's his serve? Dug out by Dixon. Schultz. Here to Dixon. That one's in. 24-13.
It seems to be her spot, AJ, towards one of those corners. She works them hard.
Lloyd and Daniel in for Brazier and Cox. Dixon's 17th kill tonight. Serve from Lloyd. That dug out by Winters. Bennett in the air. And Fisher over the net. Garland. Schultz. Dixon tipped over, dug out by Bennett. Potts back to Bennett. That one's in, and Loretto will take the third set. 25-13, they keep this one alive. As we go to the fourth set, it's a 2-1 Lawrence County lead. Lady Cats try to close it out. Lady Mustangs try to extend it when we return on the X Sports Network.
You know, Storing Lee Furniture is not just some huge chain store, but we do have a 144,000 square foot showroom right here in Leoma, Tennessee.
The Story family has worked together in the business now for 55 years.
And a familiar face is here to help you with whatever you need. That's what being a part of the community right here in the Tennessee Valley means. And if you have an issue, we're right here to take care of it. And don't forget free delivery. We invite you to come see us. We're Storing Lee Furniture.
Want to take the next steps in taking care of your health? Tennessee Valley Allergy Services can make your goals a reality. Their team of doctors, nurses, and medical professionals are dedicated to providing allergy care and treatment, such as drops and shots, to fit your exact needs. Their expert services are for anyone ages 2 and older. Whether you struggle with environmental or food allergies, they've got you covered. Discover a better you at Tennessee Valley Allergy Services, located right next to the Zaxby's in Lawrenceburg. Book online or call 931-325-0757 to schedule your appointment today.
If you're looking for a company that can do it all when it comes to building, look no further than Tennessee Properties. From new home builds to remodels and commercial projects, our contractors work hard to give your space a new life from planning to finishing touches. Whether it's new interiors or dirt work, they see your big picture without forgetting the small details. In the market for a new home, they partner.
Lady Mustangs took the third set to keep it alive, 25-13, as Lawrence County leads it 2 sets to 1. Kills wise, Lawrence County with 31, Loretto with 28. Aces, Loretto with 8 now after 5 in the third set, just 3 for Lawrence County. And we're all knotted up at errors, where Lawrence County came in with just 12 errors. It's all knotted up at 24 apiece. Loretto only made 4 errors in the third set. Lawrence County made 12.
Yeah, that's a big difference in, all the matches really, AJ, even first and second one. Loretto was on that positive side of those, making those errors, and then Lawrence County, didn't look like hardly the same team there for a little bit in that third set, to be honest.
No, they didn't. So Potts will serve it up to start things off here in the fourth set. That's dug out by Dixon. Walker here to Cox. Slaps it over, saved by Fisher. And right into the black hole in a 1-0 Loretto lead. Just how they drew it up, Malin.
Yeah, that's how you sit at home and think about that at night. That's just like that.
Serve here from Potts. Dug out by Brazier. Passes over to Walker. Walker to Garland. Dug out by Corbin. Winners. Here to Sanderson. Tipped over. Dug out by Dixon. Walker. Cox. Sent back over. Cox down and in. And the Lady Cats have tied it up at 1. Freshman coming away with kill number 4.
It was a good battle at the net.
Garland back to serve, 1-1 here in the fourth. Dug out by Winners. Potts here to Cheatham. Dug out by Garland. Brazier. Dixon tipped over. Sanderson digs it out. Potts over to Cheatham. Right on the line, 2-1 to Loretto. Fourth kill for Cheatham. 20th assist for Potts as Schultz comes in for Archer. Winners back to serve. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz. Cox got it over, and Corbin was in the net there, so that will be 2 all.
I knew like somebody was in the net.
Yeah. Saw it flicker there, and Mallory immediately turned around and knew it was hers. So
don't really look so obvious either
Yeah.
side you get in there.
it's like when your dog does something wrong and she knows it. And Winters back between the lines. Corbin over the net. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz here to Dixon. Tipped over. Diving save by Winters.
No.
Over is Corbin. Redemption. It's 3-2.
I thought that was going to be a net battle there.
I did too, but Corbin had different plans. A senior, her 7th kill. She'll check out. Just beat Leah Dixon to the punch there.
Yep.
Walls and Tidwell in. Walls back to serve. That is wide, and we're tied up at 3. Daniel and Lloyd in. Cox and Brazier will check out. Lloyd back to serve. 3-3 here in the 4th. Lloyd serve. Dug out by Winters. Potts. And Fisher gets it over. Lloyd. Schultz. Here to Dixon. Long. 4-3 Loretto.
Yeah, Dixon, that was her spot. She just barely missed that back line.
Timing just a hair off there, Malin.
Yeah, it was just everything you wanted there, just a split second off.
Newton Tidwell in. Potts Cheatham check out. 4-3 Loretto here in the 4th. That's dug out by Brazier. Garland in the air, and Daniel will get it over the net. Laws will pass over to Newton. Newton here to Tidwell. Tip, dug out by Schultz. Brazier here to Nightingale is tipped over and in. Tied up here at 4. Second kill for her, 11th assist for Schultz. Garland out, Bryce in. Dixon back to serve. 4 all here in the 4th. Serve is long. 5-4. Walker comes in for Nightingales. Sanderson in for Winters. 5-4. Bennett serve. Diving save by Dixon. Back over. Taking advantage. There's Sanderson 6-4.
That serve looks slow motion.
It really did. It's like a Johan Santana changeup. It just floats. You can swing at it twice and you still won't hit it.
That's in.
Right on the line, 7-4, 3-0-1 here for Loretto. Her 3rd ace.
Yeah, that was definitely looked like it was in, AJ.
It was right on the line. We had a pretty good view of that one. Next serve from Bennett. Dug out by Brazier. Walker here to Bryce. Dug out by Sanderson. Newton here to Tidwell. Never made it over. 7-5. Winters in for Bennett. Archer in for Schultz. Walker back to serve. Next serve from Walker. That's in for the ace. It's 7-6. Walker's 3rd ace and the team's 4th. Next serve from Walker. Dug out by Fisher. Passes over to Newton. Newton to Sanderson. That one's in. It's now 8-6.
Back and forth.
Her 3rd kill, 8th assist for Newton. Corbin back in for Laws. Fisher back to serve. Dug out by Dixon. Walker. Bryce. Dug out by Fisher. Newton. Here to Sanderson. Dug out by Brazier. Walker back between the lines. Dixon will get it over. Winters. Newton. Here to Corbin. That one's in. It's 9-6. Senior's 8th kill. 3-point Loretto lead. Next serve from Fisher. Dug out by Brazier. Walker. Bryce. Blocked. But wide. 9-7 the Loretto lead. Bryce with her 5th kill, 17th assist for Walker. Daniel out. Cox in. Brazier back to serve. 2-point Lady Mustang lead. Fisher digs it out. Newton here to Corbin. Blocked. Sent back over by Corbin. Dixon. Walker here to Bryce. That one's in. Back-to-back kills. It's a 1-point game. Eight. Malin, we were due for a close one here.
Yeah.
We've had kind of, not blowouts, but not really close as Brazier's serve goes long.
Well, they flirted with that in all 3 sets prior. But usually by now, one team has kind of seemed like they pulled out a few.
Cheatham and Potts check in. Newton and Tidwell out. And Potts back to serve.
These out here, you go through a lot of subs when you go this close like this.
Next serve from Potts. That is just a hair long. 10-9. The one time the Lady Cats let it go long, they actually did go long. Garland in for Bryce, and Garland back to serve. Dug out by Corbin. Potts here to Cheatham. Dug out by Dixon. Garland into the rafters. Brazier over the net. Winters. Potts. And not a good pass there. It's now 10-10.
I didn't know if that was coming out, AJ. It kind of hung up in the.
Well, we were all waiting for bated breath with that one. All. Next serve from Garland. Dug out by Winters. Potts over to Cheatham. Pancake. Brazier in the air. Walker over the net. Learned a new term today. Winters. Corbin. Dug out by Garland.
Uh-oh.
And they're going to call Lawrence County in the net.
Yeah, I don't know. I was watching back here, AJ. I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either.
I got a bad habit looking where the ball's going still the net. So
yeah, well, that's
she
fine.
did right there.
Yeah. That's their job, and that's their job to catch it.
Yeah. Well, like Leah may have got into it just a little bit there.
Winters back to serve. Bennett back in the game. Dug out by Garland. Bennett takes advantage. 12-10.
But this is what you want to see. Regardless who you're for here today, this is what you come for, is it to be like this.
Yeah, you want a rivalry to mean something.
That's
you want
right.
it to be competitive. Winters serve. Dug out by Walker. Schultz. Dixon. That one's in. They're going to call Dixon in the net. 13-10.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she was.
I wasn't there again.
She was awfully close.
Oh, there was no doubt.
Face got in it. Yeah. I thought she did. She was awfully close. 13-10. Winters serve. Dug out by Garland. Schultz. Here to Dixon. Dug out by Fisher into the rafters. Yeah. There's nothing she can do with that one. Well, it is what it is. You know, if we were in a college arena, that would have hit the video board. So Schultz's serve dug out by Winters. Potts here to Corbin. Blocked. Winters digs it out. Potts now over to Bennett. That one's in. 14-11. Laws will come in for Corbin. And she'll go back and serve. Next serve. Dug out by Dixon. Schultz. Here to Dixon. That one is wide. 15-11.
Yeah, that's a good swing.
They just hit it wide, and Steve Keaton will call his first time out here of the first set, trailing by 4. We'll take the break with him here on the X Sports Network.
The storm doesn't ask. It takes. It tests. It pushes everything to its limit. Some things are built different. Some things are built to last. Tested by the elements, proven by time, engineered for whatever comes next. Summertown Metals. Strength in every storm. Building dreams that last.
Gifts and goodies galore await you at Miss.
Steve Keegan calls this first time out of the fourth set as Loretto on a run here as they lead at 15-11. Ever since we're tied up at 10, Balin, Lady Mustangs on a 5-1 run.
Yeah, just, Lady Cats are just right there, AJ. They're not far off. They're just missing it by a little.
Serve here from Laws, dug out by Dixon. Schultz here tonight, and Gasis gets it over off of Bennett and down, and a good answer. Seems like every time Steve Keaton calls a timeout, they come out away with a point.
I think it's just about anybody calls a timeout.
I think I've heard your
I'm
theory
not
on that
saying
Steve
does a tremendous job at that, but that percentage has to be extremely high.
Andrea Kelly's at Summertown is like 150%. She gets like 2 points out of timeouts every time. Lloyd back to serve. Dug out by Winters over to Potts. Potts here to Bennett. Blocked by Daniel. Dug out by Laws. Bennett over. Dug out by Schultz. Garland. And Dixon in the net. 16-12.
It's definitely not Leah's, what she likes doing there. The timing wasn't out there for her. Get a good swing.
Sheenham and Potts out. Tidwell and Newton in. 16-12 the Loretto lead here in the fourth. Newton serve in the net. 16-13. Not what you want to do there when the team on the other side is struggling a bit.
No. You want to make them make mistakes, not self-inflicted ones.
Rice will come in for Garland. Dixon back to serve. Fisher digs it out. Winters over to Tidwell. That one's down and in. 17-13.
There's a miscommunication, I think, there.
Walker back in. Bennett back to serve up 4 here in the fourth. And that serve is long. 17-14. Back-to-back service here is for Loretto. Archer in for Schultz. Walker back to serve. It's dug out by Bennett. Newton. Tidwell tipped, sent back by Daniel. Sanderson, I don't know what happened there. It's 17-15.
No, I don't know. I'm a little confused there, but
we've had a few of those on both sides tonight. It's like, huh?
I think she was going up to hit it and just got there a little early or something, maybe.
Walker serves it in the net, 18-15.
I think they wanted you to put more stuff on your iPad over here, AJ.
They want Will with the toggle. 18-15. His arms wore out after that men's soccer game yesterday. Walker here to Daniel. She hit that left-handed. That's down and in. 19-15.
She did hit that left-handed, AJ. Or it seemed that way, anyhow.
Second block for a point for Corbin. And Steve Keaton going to call his final timeout, trailing late here in the fourth. We'll take it with him here on the Exports Network.
Jack Davis Insurance, located at 201 West Gain Street in Lawrenceburg, has you covered through life's obstacles. Jack Davis specializes in group insurance for businesses and institutions of all sizes. With coverage for life, accidents, cancer, critical illness, short-term disability, dental, and vision, Jack Davis can customize a plan to meet every need. Now available Medicare plans for seniors. Contact Paige Davis at 931-492-9284 today for Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and prescription drug plan insurance. Serving Lawrence and surrounding counties since 1987, call the team at Jack Davis Insurance today at 931-242-5225.
19-15 the Loretto lead. Lawrence County out of timeouts, and Fisher back to serve. Crowd into it here. Loretto. Fisher serve. Dug out by Brazier. Walker. Daniel left-handed again. Corbin sends it over and in. And the Lady Mustangs on the back stretch.
That's that no-man land back there.
Yeah, everyone was pushed
Yes,
up
sir.
there, and she wisely sent it where they weren't. It's her 9th kill. Next serve here from Fisher, dug out by Brazier. Daniel back between the lines, saved by Archer. Newton near to Corbin, and wide, 21-15. Tenth kill now for the senior. Next serve from Fisher. Diving save by Brazier. Archer back between the lines. Bryce will get it over the net. Winners. Newton in the air and wide. 21-16, excuse me.
That's a good hustle there.
Cox will come in for Daniel, and Brazier back to serve. 21-16 here in the fourth, the Loretto lead. Serve from Brazier. Dug out by Winners. Newton here to Corbin. Ooh. That would have ended up on the football field if there wasn't a wall there. 21-17.
She wasn't going to leave that one short, AJ.
No. You know, that's like striking out, but you swing and fall on your face, you know. Newton here to Sanderson. Dug out. Walker here to Bryce. Tipped, dug out by Winners. Newton here to Sanderson again. In the net. 21-18. I don't mind someone that swings as hard as I can. If you miss it, you miss it. It is what it is, but at least you try. Next serve here from Brazier. Dug out by Winners. Newton here to Tidwell. Tipped over. Dug out by Brazier. Walker here to Bryce. That one's in. 21-19. And a timeout will be called by Nick Quillen. His team leading by 2. We'll take the break with them here on the Exports Network.
You know, Storing Lee Furniture is not just some huge chain store, but we do have a 144,000 square foot showroom right here in Leoma, Tennessee.
The Story family has worked together in the business now for 55 years.
And a familiar face is here to help you with whatever you need. That's what being a part of the community right here in the Tennessee Valley means. And if you have an issue, we're right here to take care of it. And don't forget free delivery. We invite you to come see us. We're Storing Lee Furniture.
Want to take the next?
Loretto's had to call their first time out of the fourth set. They lead at 21-19 late, and we got a Donnybrook here in the fourth. Lady Cats lead at 2-1. Brazier serve, dug out by Winners. Newton, Tidwell, over, dug out by Brazier. Walker, here to Archer. Blocked, dug out. Dixon in the air, and Cox will get it over in the net. Fisher, Newton, Corbin, dug out and in. 22-19. Corbin's 11th kill. Potts, Cheatham in for Tidwell and Newton. Potts back to serve, up 3 here in the fourth.
It's a good atmosphere here tonight.
It's incredible. Gotta love the fan spirit on both sides. Dixon digs it out. Brazier. Cox slaps it over, dug out by Winners. Potts here to Corbin, tipped over. Bryce tries to save it and can, 23-19. Corbin coming alive here in the third and fourth. Next serve from Potts. Dug out by Dixon. Walker here to Cox, tipped, dug out by Winners. Potts here to Sanderson. Wrong.
Just a bit off the back line.
23-20. Both sides on the back stretch. Garland in for Bryce. Garland back to serve.
That's just that half second we talked about earlier on some of these.
It's a difference. Game event. Every game's a game event. Inches, honestly. Yep. Next serve from Garland. Dug out by Winners. Corbin over to Cheatham. Tipped over. Dug out by Walker. Brazier in the air. Walker in the net. And set point for Loretto.
That got them just enough off balance, you know, where it's hard to come back there.
Schultz in for Archer. Winners back to serve. Set point. serve. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz. Cox. Right in there. 4 to 21. Cox, the freshman, her 5th kill, 14th assist for Schultz. Walker out, Nightingale is in. Next serve here from Schultz. Schultz's serve. Dug out by Corbin, passes over to Potts. Potts here to Corbin, dug out by Schultz. Cox, Dixon pushes it over, dug out by Winters. Potts, Bennett, dug out by Garland. Dixon in the air, Nightingale tips it over. Bennett, Potts, back to Bennett. Tip, dug out by Dixon. And Cox got in Schultz's way, and that one will do it for the 4th. Loretto takes the 4th, 25 to 21. We're going to go to a 5th and decisive set. That will be when we return on the X Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Jeff Overton, and welcome to this edition of Mars Hill Minute. We're excited to be here in the foundation of our brand new children's building, student building. This part right here will be the student sanctuary where they'll have their worship on Wednesday nights. But what I want to talk to you about is what's coming soon. The steel will go up, the second floor will be built, and the children's wing will be put in as well. We're excited about all of that, but you got to take the details of making sure this part is right. If the foundation isn't right, everything else we build is going to have problems. The Bible tells us the same is true with our lives. We talked about a man who built his house on the sand, and one has built his house on the rocks. And when the storms came, the one built on the rock sustained and made it through. How's your life built? Jesus says he is the rock. I'd like to encourage you to build your life on Jesus Christ and his teaching and be a disciple of Jesus Christ. I'd love to invite you to Mars Hill Baptist Church to learn more about how to build the proper foundation to build upward with your life. God bless you. Hope you'll come join us.
Gifts and goodies galore await you at Miss Millie's in downtown Lawrenceburg. From brands you know and love, like E. Newton Jewelry and Tyler Diva Wash, to unique specialty gifts, you will find it all here. Whether you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you love or shopping for yourself, shopping local is the way to go. We have home goods, women's fashion and accessories, baby items, and lots of seasonal decorations. Our friendly staff will welcome you in, help you find what you need, and even package your gifts for you. Also, we can't forget to tell you about our popular bridal registry. Future brides can come and create their perfect registry with us. So stop by Miss Millie's today. We're located in the northeast corner of the square in downtown Lawrenceburg.
Back here at the new barn, of course, we're going to go to a 5th set. Lawrence County dominated the first 2. Loretto took the next 2. And first to 15 win by 2. So Loretto will...
You had to put up with me for 5 up there at the Ralph,
hey,
AJ. You don't have to do it again.
I'm having fun. I know you've got a dog in the fight. I don't, but hey, I'm having a lot of fun.
I support both of these programs, and so do I to support Summertown too. You know, I do have a kid on Loretto, but you know, I want to be that guy. You don't know I got a kid out there, and so
you're doing a good job of it. That's why we don't put a camera on you when she hits it into the net.
Yes.
Garland back to serve. Same for Will when Macy does it. Hello over to Corbin, dug out by Schultz. Walker over to Dixon, tipped over. Ooh, did that hit 2 Lady? I thought it did. Hit 2 Lady Mustangs there, 1-0 Lady Cats.
Yeah, I think they both made a good hustle play there and tangled up. And you know, you don't see anybody get hurt, but it wasn't a lack of effort.
The way it hit, it boom, boom, got in the air.
Good job by the officials.
Yeah. They've caught everything well tonight. So have our back judges as well. Garland serve, dug out by Winters. Potts here to Cheatham. Dug out by Garland, sent back to Corbin, who slams it home with tied up and one. The senior's 13th kill. Sanderson out.
So what we got?
I think there might have been warning him about the celebration. I'm just guessing. Yeah, I'm with you. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz here to Dixon. That one's in. Lady Cats up 2-1. Hey, it's a rivalry, man.
Yeah,
let them have fun as long as they're not turning around and flipping them off. You know?
Yeah, I didn't see any excessive there.
I didn't either. As long as they're not turning around, flipping them off, talking trash, as long as they're
That's
celebrating or like Florida chucking a shoe or spinning.
Yeah.
One or the other. Schultz serves that one up, dug out by Corbin. Potts here to Bennett. That one is in. We're tied up at 2.
You know, regardless how this turns out, AJ, both of these teams have fought hard in this contest, and both of them, one of them peaked a little early. Loretto's come back, and now it's going to be decided right here.
Bennett's 14th kill, lost to serve. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz here to Dixon. Got it over. And Fisher takes advantage, slams it down, 3-2 Loretto. And that's her 5th kill. Lost to serve as they're looking for a ball.
And now they're having a question here at the stand here about a lift or something, I think, AJ. I think Steve is asking about a lift.
Serve here from Laws. Dug out by Dixon. Cox in the air. And Brazier off of the net, whatever that is, the divider. It's now 4-2. Bad luck there.
Yeah, unfortunately, if that's not there, that's probably.
Steve Keaton will call his first time out here of the 5th set. We'll take it with him on the Experts Network.
Some things just never go out of style, like craftsmanship you can trust. Since 1902, H.B. Brink & Company has been building more than homes, they've built trust. Locally owned and operated in Lawrence County, Tennessee for over a century, spanning 3 generations, extending their craft to surrounding counties, providing lumber, millwork, tools, and materials that stand the test of time. From custom homes to weekend DIY projects, if you need it, they've got it. Stop by 134 Depot Street in Lawrenceburg or give them a call today.
Lawrence County calls their first time out of the 5th. Loretto leads it 4-2. We're tied up here 2 sets apiece. First to 15, win by 2. Serve here from Laws, dug out by Dixon. Schultz here to Cox. That one's in, 4-3.
It's a good swing by Cox.
It's her 6th kill, 17th assist for Schultz. Lloyd and Daniel in. Cox and Brazier out. Lloyd back to serve. They do have ball girls.
Yep.
And they're young. They're going to fall asleep every now and again. Lloyd served, dug out by Winters. Potts here to Bennett. Slapped over, dug out by Schultz. Garland setting up Dixon. Right on the line. We're tied up at 4.
Yeah, if you're Lawrence County, you want her to get hot right here.
It's her 21st kill. And for Garland, that's her 3rd assist. They've all come to Leah. Serve here from Lloyd. 4 all here in the 5th. Winters digs it out. Potts here to Bennett.
Long.
And it's 5-4 Lady Cats. So out of the timeout, Lawrence County on a 3-0 run. Next serve here from Lloyd. Dug out by Winters. Potts, Cheatham. That one's in. We're tied up at 5. Cheatham's 5th kill, 24th assist for Potts. Tidwell and Newton come in. Potts and Cheatham check out. Serve from Newton. Dug out by Dixon. Schultz here to Dixon. Tipped over. Dug out by Winters. Newton here to Bennett. Tipped. Dug out by Schultz and back over. Nightingale gets in the air. Dixon right on the line. 6-5.
Yep, no man's land again.
And both sides have taken advantage of that when everyone kind of pushes up into the net. Bryce will come in for Garland. Dixon back to serve, up 6-5 after her 22nd kill. Dug out by Fisher, passes over to Newton. Newton to Bennett. Ooh. Dug out by Dixon, sent back to Loretto. Winners, Newton. Bennett blocked, down and in by Daniel. It's 7-5. That is her 4th and the team's 5th.
Lawrence County's come out with a little bit more momentum here.
And their crowd's starting to get loud across the way. Yep. Dixon's serve is long and wide. 6-5. Back to serve is Bennett. 7-6 the Lady Cat lead here in the 5th. In the net. 8-6.
There's one of those self-inflicted errors that both teams have seemed like the last few sets have done to themselves.
Schultz out. Archer in. Walker serve. Dug out by Winters. Newton. Here to Sanderson. Just a bit long. 9-6.
Yep.
And Nick Quillen's going to call his first timeout here in the 4th set. Down 3. We'll take it with him on the Exports Network.
Are you looking for the perfect refrigerator? What about a new stove or washer or dryer? It only makes sense to shop at the one place that specializes in appliances, top to bottom, big or small. And that's Kelly Appliance in Lawrenceburg. Kelly Appliance is home to all major name brands, including LG. LG makes life good with a full selection of refrigerators, cooking appliances, dishwashers, microwaves, and more, including appliances made right here in Tennessee. Family owned and family operated. Stop by Kelly Appliance on Jerry Street in Lawrenceburg today.
Loretto calls their first timeout of the 5th set. Lawrence County after the last timeout. Currently on a 6-1 run. Next serve here from Walker. Dug out by Winters. Newton here to Tidwell. Gets it over and in. 9-7. Another senior coming up big. Her 5th kill. Fisher back to serve. Corbin in for Laws. Serve from Fisher. Dug out by Brazier. Walker here to Bryce. Block. Dug out by Brazier. Walker. Archer sent over. Dug out by Sanderson. Newton here to Sanderson. Tipped over. And in. 1-point game.
Yeah, the two Lady Cats got together there. Brazier and Dixon did. That's a good hustle there.
4th kill for Sanderson. 9-8. Fisher to serve again. Dug out by Brazier. Walker. Daniel tipped over. Dug out by Tidwell. Newton. Here to Corbin. Dug out by Bryce. Walker. Here to Dixon. Tipped. Dug out by Winters. Newton. Tidwell. Dug out by Brazier. Walker. Here to Bryce. That one's in. Lady Cats up 2. Bryce's 9th kill as Cox will come in for Daniel. 10-8 Lady Cats here in the 5th. Serve from Brazier. Dug out by Fisher. Newton near to Corbin. Dug out by Dixon. Walker. Cox. And that one's in. 11-8. Cox's 7th kill. 22nd assist for Walker. Brazier to serve up 3. Dug out by Fisher. Newton. Here to Corbin. That one's in. 11-9. Corbin's 14th kill. 15th assist for Newton. Potts and Cheatham in. Newton and Tidwell out. Potts back to serve. Serve from Potts. Dug out by Dixon. Walker. Cox. That one's in. 12-9. Cox starting to break out the arsenal here as Garland will come in for Bryce. 12-9 here in the fifth. Serve from Garland. Dug out by Corbin. Potts. Here to Corbin. That one's in. 12-10. Schultz in for Archer. Winters back to serve. Bennett in for Sanderson. Serve up. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz. Here to Dixon. That one's in. 13-10. Dixon with kill number 23. Gasis in for Walker. And Schultz will go back and serve. Yeah,
that was hot.
95 miles an hour off her hand. Schultz's serve. Long.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do with that. If you would be there, you'd be a victim of circumstance.
And get a nice little bruise in the process. Corbin outlaws in. 2-point handicap lead late in the fifth. Dug out by Dixon. Schultz. That somehow got over. I don't know how anyone wasn't in the net there.
I don't either.
Knight and Gasis. Garland will push it over. Laws. Potts. Here to Bennett. Slapped over. Dug out by Garland. Schultz over to Dixon. Fading away. Dug out by Bennett. Potts. Back to Bennett. Fading away. Dug out by Brazier. Schultz. Here to Dixon. In the net. 1-point game.
I think sometimes both teams are in the net and they just
It's like,
yeah, let it go.
Who do you call it on? Final timeout will be called by Steve Keaton. We'll just keep it here for the time being. And Malin, if you want to, one thing we can't say tonight, we've seen a lot of growth and maturity from these two young teams here. As you know, just when you think one's about to go away, the other one storms back, and we've seen a lot from both sides here tonight.
Well, the momentum was with the Lady Cats first two sets, and Loretto fixed some things, and come back won the next two, and I didn't expect this one to be any different here, back and forth. But the hitters are still hitting, and it seemed like Loretto picked that up a little bit, and the Lady Cats have come out with more momentum here in the fifth, so it's not over with yet by any stretch of the mean for either team.
Absolutely. Seeing the best and the worst out of both of these
yes,
teams
absolutely.
here tonight. And we've gotten an instant classic again from these two rivals.
I think at any given time in a couple of these sets here, each team's been on the struggle bus, as I call it.
Absolutely. Lost to serve. Dug out by Garland.
Got a false start.
Yeah. 5-inch penalty. She's got to go backwards.
What happened?
He didn't blow the whistle yet.
Oh.
Yeah. Serve here. Dug out by Garland. Schultz. Dixon. Diving save by Winters. Bennett gets it back between the lines. Laws won't get it over. Set point for the Lady Cats. Lloyd to serve. Daniel and Lloyd in. Brazier and Cox out. Final timeout called by Nick Quillen here. 14-12 here in the fifth. And man, Will Pettis, our Summertown guy, he said both of his kids are going to be here anyway, so he showed up. He said this is one of the loudest high school volleyball games he's ever been to, and certainly one of the loudest I've ever been to.
I told him he set the bar high. My wife and I, we've done most of the Loretto games. The exports allowed us to do that, and I said, he's coming out here tonight. Well, we got some big shoes to fill.
Same here. Yeah, I gotta do all these Lawrence County games solo. Some UT Southern games and other TCCAA games solo. And, Will's getting crouch shots, huddle shots.
But I do appreciate Will.
We do.
This is the second year I've been allowed to be a part of Exports, and he's been a good friend to us and kind of helped my wife and I out in this journey. And so we know we're not experts at this, are very good at it, but we do enjoy bringing it back home to the people.
We appreciate all of you guys and all of your efforts. Annie Lloyd, set point for the Lady Cats. He will serve. Dug out by Laws. Cheatham. Here to Bennett. Dug out by Dixon. Schultz to Dixon for the win. It's a long. 14-13.
That's what better case scenario for the Lady Cats, though.
Yeah. It's a cleanup hitter at the plate with the game on the line.
Yeah, regardless how it comes out. That's
Cheatham and Potts out. Newton and Tidwell in. 14-13. Still set point for the Lady Cats. Newton to serve. Dug out by Dixon. Schultz. Daniel.
That's 4 hits.
Yeah. I think Tidwell
Bitch tip it.
Got a little bit there. Bennett tipped. Saved
Nice
by
hustle.
Schultz. Daniel. Here to Dixon. Dug out by Winters. Newton. Here to Bennett. Tipped. Dug out by Dixon and down. We're going to extra points.
Oh, after the first 2 sets, if you told me we'd be here, AJ, I don't know what I would have agreed with you.
Bennett's 15th kill, 16th assist for Newton, 14 all. Serve. There's one, now set point for the Lady Cats. Again. Bryce in for Garland, Dixon back to serve. Serve here from Dixon. In for the ace! Leah Dixon comes up with a clutch ace, and that one will do it. The Lady Cats come in extra points and win it 16-14 in the 5th and take the match 3 sets to 2. What a wild finish here at Loretto tonight.
Well, wouldn't expect it any other way after, Wade comes down there. Good serve by Leah. And that's the reason why they work every day for stuff like that.
Malin, if you're just a casual fan, which really no one in this building is except for Will, you got your money's worth here tonight. Will got in for free.
Yeah. And once again, he worked hard for this. And, hats off to Lady Cats. It'd be hard, you win 2 sets, AJ, then you lose 2. To come back and fight like that in the 5th. So hats off to them.
And on the Lawrence County side, you take the first 2, drop the next 2, and still find a way to win in the 5th. I mean, like we said tonight, Malin, both these teams showed a lot of growth and maturity here tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the key to it. Just keep grinding, keep growing, keep fixing on the things you can. And, and tournament time's coming. It's here, a couple weeks away, really?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, yeah, absolutely. And it will be here before you know it. So we had a fun one here tonight. Again, the Lady Cats win this one 3 sets to 2 after taking the 5th 16-14. So for Malin Fisher and our producer extraordinaire, Will Pettis, this is AJ Good on the X Sports Network. All of our teams are in action tomorrow night. We'll see you then.
Going the